This year's NBA City Edition uniforms were recently leaked, and let's just say there's a few good ones and a whole lot of bad ones. The NBA has been making City Edition uniforms since like 2016, and this year has gotta be the worst by far. Not only did they look like really cheap knockoffs, but half the designs are almost the exact same as last year's. I was gonna make a video putting them into a tier list, but a lot of them would be C tier at best with a couple exceptions, so I'm just gonna talk about each one. We only get to see the design of the jerseys, so maybe they look better with the full uniform and numbers, but they can only get so much better. I'm gonna start off with the good ones that I actually like because they're not all bad. The first jersey I'll shout out has to be the Raptors. Them bringing back the Raptor and putting him in a Vince Carter jersey is extremely cool. It gives shades of an already iconic design while paying homage to a Toronto legend. And once you add in the shorts, I think the whole uniform put together is gonna make it look that much better. Another one I really like is the Memphis Grizzlies. I see a lot of people having mixed feelings about this one, but I think it's pretty solid. It could be because I'm a big fan of red uniforms in general, but this one definitely stuck out to me. None of these are in any order, by the way, I'm just pulling them up as I go. The Cavaliers' unique powder blue design is another one that I really like. It could be better, but the blue combined with the drawing looking design on the sides is pretty creative, so that alone puts them above most of the rest. The Magic have, I think, my favorite new uniform. The art on the Raptors jersey is a lot cooler, but these to me just have a better overall look. I'm a huge fan of the pinstripe jerseys and not nearly enough teams take advantage of them. The old school look and the logo with a unique side stripe is all really good. I get whoever made these a lot of credit for trying to make a jersey people would actually want to wear. I'm putting the Mavericks jersey in the good, honestly because it's just different. The silver and the white with almost the royalty looking design on the sides is kinda clean. These are gonna be even better when the number is there because there just isn't much going on, but the color scheme is perfect. I've seen some people disagree, but compared to a lot of the other jerseys, these stand out more. And well, that's about it for the good. The next much larger group is mediocre to bad. I'm not saying all of these are awful because I do like a few of them, just not as much as the ones that I just talked about. Again, these are in random order until we get to the ugly. I'll start off with 3 jerseys that I kind of feel the same about. The Knicks, Nuggets, and Sixers white jerseys all look alright to me. I think the Sixers and the Knicks jerseys look a bit better, but they're all a variation of a basic white jersey. If you threw the Mavericks jersey in the same category as these, I honestly wouldn't blame you. I feel like the Nuggets jersey had potential with the elevation on the sides, and the 5280 is there again for the 1,000,000th time. The Pistons beige or cream jerseys are alright. I'm not the biggest fan of the colors, but they're different, I guess. They've had a lot better ones in the past. The Utah Jazz have basically the same jersey as last year, but they made it look a little cleaner. I think last year's were actually better, but that's still not a bad design in general. It looks good, we've just seen it before. The new Bucks jerseys are solid. I think the colors carry it, but I don't hate the simplicity in this one. Portland has also had some cool jerseys in the past, but these are just decent. The design on the black part of the jersey is somewhat creative, and the logo is the same one they've used in the past, which I don't blame them because it does look good. Then the Hawks have one of the more creative jerseys. I don't think it looks super good, but there's definitely more effort put into this one than the others. It's a variation of the old school Hawks uniform, which is alright, I'm just not so much of a fan of the colors. Although these could look a lot better depending on what the shorts look like. The Charlotte Hornets have a new mint looking jersey with black and beige stripes. They honestly remind me of a worse version of the New York Liberty uniforms. They're not completely terrible though. The Wizards and Rockets new jerseys both give me the same feeling. I don't hate the look of either one, I think there's potential for both, but they just could have looked so much better. The Brooklyn Nets jerseys are alright, although it's just a variation of last year's. It is kind of unique, but comparing them to the previous years, they are a bit of a step back. The Clippers have also had some pretty cool looking uniforms in the past that make these ones look awful. It doesn't look that bad, but it is extremely basic. I feel like the Pelicans always have underwhelming city jerseys for what they actually could look like, and this year is no different. It is definitely more creative than past years, so I will give them credit on that. The Mardi Gras design does look kinda cool. Somewhat similar to the Hornets jerseys, the Spurs have a lighter mint color design, but these ones are even more basic. Like a few of the other teams I've talked about, the Spurs have had cool city jerseys in the past, so I'm really disappointed in the way these look. The Bulls I get are somewhat similar to the Mavs, who I really like, but I don't know, the white and cream together just isn't as good as the white and silver to me. I get why some people do like them, but the fact that this is the best design you could come up with is just sad. The final two teams that I put in this massive mid category are the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. The Kings have had some mediocre city jerseys in the past, but these have got to be the worst. The Suns are honestly pretty decent. They have 1,000 regular jerseys that look just like it, but they're kind of creative, so I guess I give them a pass. The rest of these I consider to be the worst of the worst. And the first team I'll mention is the Heat, and they're here for a very specific reason. Not because the design is entirely terrible, it's not good by any means, but it's because the Heat have had such fire city jerseys in the past. These are the most low effort jerseys ever, it looks like they didn't even try. And speaking of not even trying, the Minnesota Timberwolves jerseys are even worse. These look like a poorly photoshopped t-shirt design, and it's the same thing with the Lakers. I think they're slightly better than the Timberwolves design, but they're both absolutely garbage. The Pacers are probably the best out of the worst, which isn't saying much. They're basically just the reverse jerseys from last year. They are semi-creative, which gives them some points, but other than that, these are not good at all. And the same thing goes for the Warriors. I give them a little bit of credit for being creative, but these are still awful. The number being there will make them look a little bit better, but the colors are just terrible. I feel the same way about the OKC Thunder's jersey. They are using mostly regular colors, but combined with the just basic all black is kind of ugly to me. But the final team on the list is the Celtics. People are saying these are the worst out of all of them, and they just might be right. Although so many of these are so horrible that it could go either way. The Celtics jerseys look like practice jerseys. I've actually worn practice jerseys that look better than these. Imagine hiring people to come up with any type of uniform they want, and this is the design they come up with. But again, you could say the same thing about most of these. You could hire random people off the internet that could make better uniforms than these. I get you're trying to represent the city, but you can do that while making a good looking uniform. We've seen it multiple times. If it's the same people that made the in-season tournament courts last year, then it all makes sense. But let me know down in the comments what you think about these new city jerseys, and please leave a like to support the channel. Also subscribe if you're new for more basketball videos just like this one.